Beepity beep 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. How are we, good peeps? It's good to see you this morning. Had a great night last night with my new warrior teachers. Fantastic team, some great people in there. Different views, different opinions, different ideas. Going to make for an interesting study time. So what have I got for you today? First of all, subscribe to my Substack, usual stuff. And new warrior teachers start in November. Information will go up about that soon. So I want to go back to, do you remember we covered the social worker who won 50k plus 13 grand costs, as you can see on the screen there already. I want to go back to that and take a look at this gender fluid dog called Pablo. It's a sausage dog called Pablo. Why do you call him Cumberland? That's what I'd call him. Cumberland! Sausage dog, right? Called Pablo. This is real. Before you look at me as if I've gone, some kind of crazy, it's real. Cheers. Get a coffee. I think you'll need one. Right. So, gender fluid, dress wearing dachshund, whatever it is, called Pablo, who sparked lesbians' transphobia legal battle with council that cost taxpayers £63,000 from Nick Craven, published on the 17th of September in the Daily Fail. Right? Okay. Glorious. This is Pablo, the gender fluid dachshund, at the centre of an 18-month-long legal battle against a woke council, which has cost taxpayers more than 63 grand. That's you and I. Lesbian social worker Lizzie Pitt was accused of voicing transphobic views by her colleague, ANALha. That can't be right. Is that right? It is. ANALha. I've got to be pronouncing that wrong. I'm going to say ANALha. Not ANALha. It's got to please let it be ANALha. Glycon and ANALha, who is Pablo's owner. So Pablo's owner is called Gavascon ANALha. He chaired a Zoom call for LGBTQIA plus employees of Cambridgeshire County Council, where he said he identified his dachshund as gender fluid and put a dress on the animal to prompt debate about gender. Right? Why didn't he dress him as Napoleon and prompt debate about revolutions? He could have dressed him as Keir Starmer and prompted debates about cronyism, but he didn't. He prompted debates about gender by dressing his dachshund up, right? Pablo, or Pablo Vittar, to give him his full title, is named after a Brazilian drag queen of the same name who campaigned against the country's right-wing former president, Jair Bolsonaro. The dashing dachshund even has his own Instagram account where he can be seen wearing a colourful tutu and a glittering crown. Now you want to see you want to see this, don't you? You want me to let you have a look? I'll let you have a look. Here he is with his little tutu. Hey, look at that. The dog's sitting there going, fuck my life. Here's our Lizzie, right? There's the man himself. Glaucoma ANALha, right? Mr. ANALha chaired the LGBTQ meeting, right? There he is. Hey, little smiley man. And fine Pablo. Have you ever seen a dog look so unhappy? He appears to be in boots or somewhere, right? Let's go back, right? Let's go back because it gets better, right? So Brazilian-born Mr. ANALha, who is a young people worker on the council's targeted support team, complained about Miss Pitt's comments and that of another lesbian employee on the Zoom call. So there were two lesbians on this Zoom call, and the council gave ascendancy to a dog in a tutu with a crown. Can you imagine the meeting? You seen what happened to that meeting with Pablo Anasol? Did you see what happened? No, what happened? What occurred? There were two lesbians in there. Had to go at him. They had to go at his dog. Never. Save Pablo. Really? Why did they have a go at him? Because he wears a dress and a crown. For God's sake, they wouldn't affirm the dog. Well, that's not on, is it? We best speak to these two lesbians. Do you think that's a good idea? I think it's a very good idea. I mean, we must do it. It's our imperative. It's a council. How much did that cost you? 63 grand. Right. In submissions for the case, he described Miss Pitt's colleague, who also worked in the social work department, declaring, "Your dog is male," in response to his claims about its gender fluidity. He said the group was silent and shocked, and he felt it was an attack on his personal choices and lived experiences. This is real. What an idiot! Mr. Edijester, ANALha, claimed the two women had made some transphobic comments, and this caused an emotional impact on the peer group. They're so weak, you weak, stupid little man. He recalled the incident in January 2023 in the Employment Tribunal documents. "I found a way to bring awareness regarding gender and sexuality through my dog via Instagram and informal conversations on the streets. He's been dressing his dog up in a crown and a tutu, going around the streets bothering people." Excuse me, have you seen my dog? He is dressed. That's a German. How do you do a Brazilian accent? I don't know. I'm not going to try. Right, this is my dog. He's gender fluid. Have you anything to say about that? No. And the poor person just goes, he backs away from the strange but interesting man. Walked away from. Anybody want to talk about my gender fluid dog? No takers? Transphobes. I identify my dog as gender fluid, and I actually enjoy speaking with people about human gender expression and how we, as a society, imprinted this in animals, and culturally we repeat the gender expressions and stereotypes to the younger generation. Does he mean the younger generation of sausage dogs? Or does he mean the younger generation of people? I can't do this anymore. When the other employee stated, "Your dog is male," with a provocative and angry tone of voice, the group was silent and shocked. She ignored our previous conversation. "I felt this was the first attack on my personal choices and lived experiences. The total number of people on the Zoom call was 8. Mr. ANALha continued, "People mentioned that they were shaking, feeling threatened and horrified with the disrespectful comments." I mean, if you were an employer and you had a group of people that got upset because somebody said a dog is male, despite the fact it's wearing a tutu and a crown, you'd be going, "Okay, what are my recruitment practices and why have they gone wrong?" It's just surreal. In an email to the bosses at the council's HR team, he added, "We collected statements of the individuals. We wanted to take this further. All the LGBTQI peer group agreed to share their statements and take this further." Later, he added, "Regarding the mental health impact, these transphobic and deeply hurtful attacks touch deeply my values. This is the second night that I couldn't sleep thinking about the cruelty." This made me wake up overnight and use Saturday morning to write this email. And there he is. You can see him there with other assorted buffoons. He even has his own Instagram account. Oh my God, right? Absolutely insane. And there he is. He's doing a photo bomb. Look, trans power. Don't talk to cops. Pablo Vittar, there he is. Look, see, look. There he is, having a go. I think in the gallery, you can have a look at that as well. There he is again in the crowd. I just can't. This is just priceless. Mr. Pitt and another lesbian colleague were reported for their Miss Pitt. Really aggressive tone and views that were deemed to be non-inclusive and transphobic. But when Miss Pitt was disciplined by bosses and banned from contacting members of the group or attending meetings, she took them to a tribunal for harassment. Yay! Good. Now, this was interesting enough for me to go, right, what's this lunatic bloke up to elsewhere? So a friend of mine sent me some stuff when I mentioned it. Oh, yeah, they said, "I'll have a look." I did a friend, yes, good friend of mine who specialises in living in houses that require a constant state of repair. Right, that's their thing. So this person sent me some of this stuff. Now let's have a look and see. So here we are. You can see here. Now this is him, glucose anal bum. Him. Him. Look at his him face. He's a young people worker and vice chair Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Committee at Cambridgeshire County Council. Is he now? So how did somebody who's obviously so blatantly nuts get a job like that? There's some questions that need to be... This is funny, but there's some questions that need to be asked. How about this bit? Conflict mediator. Online conflict mediator with experience in family, business conflict, divorce, diversity and inclusion conflict, gender, sexuality conflicts and organisational conflict. Is there anything this man can't do? And how about this one? young people worker under Equality and Diversity and Inclusion Committee Vice Chair of Cambridgeshire Council. Why has he got so much power at Cambridgeshire City Council? Equality, diversity and inclusion. He's involved in those processes. And finally, he says, based on EDI values, respect and collaboration, I also work supporting young people and parents, carers, through one-to-one sessions and group work around health, relationships, resilience, staying safe and self-esteem, aiming to enhance resilience. This is a man who got upset because somebody took the piss out of his dog in a tutu in a crowd. Education, financial support, physical and mental health. I'll say it again, I think when it comes to these people, they need to be looked at far more closely. Here's another one of them. So what I would say is that what we've got here, ladies and gentlemen, is another member of the Fruit Loops in a Fruit Bowl group, which currently is starting to get very crowded, as you can see. All right? Other than that, you have a great day, because this really gave me a good laugh and I needed it this morning. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.